Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving into something that literally sounds like it belongs in a sci-fi movie, but it's 100% real. Under the professional oversight of Dr. Anastasia Vela, we're going to unravel this biological mystery together. We are looking at how an 80-ton mammal, just swimming out there in the freezing Arctic, actually holds the ultimate key to cellular longevity and human biohacking. It's completely wild. Let's get right into it.
So to really grasp this, we've got to start with a famous biological riddle known as Peto's paradox. Now, theoretically, a massive animal with trillions upon trillions of dividing cells should basically be a walking cancer factory. Think about it. Every single time a cell divides, there's a risk of a mutation that could lead to a tumor. Mathematically speaking, a massive whale should have a dramatically higher cancer rate than, say, a human or a mouse.
But it doesn't, at all. In fact, the bowhead whale gracefully swims around those freezing Arctic waters for over 2 centuries. Seriously, let that sink in for a second. 200 plus years. This incredible creature routinely outlives entire generations of human families, and it does the whole thing without succumbing to the age-related illnesses that plague us. How on earth is that possible?
Okay, let's dive into this. Scientists initially assumed they'd find this massive cellular fortress, right? Like a highly sensitive self-destruct button where any damaged cell just instantly destroys itself to protect the animal. But the reality? Completely stunned researchers. When they tested whale cells in a lab, they were actually more fragile. They needed fewer genetic hits to become cancerous than human cells did. I mean, that makes absolutely no sense at first glance.
Well, it turns out the secret wasn't about preventing cellular damage from happening in the first place. Not at all. The bowhead whale survives for 2 centuries because it operates on a totally different biological paradigm. The strategy is repair, don't replace. Its real superpower is having the most elite, hyper-efficient, and incredibly accurate cellular repair crew in the entire animal kingdom.
And the absolute hero of this story? It's a cold-activated protein called CIRBP. When a cell suffers the most dangerous kind of damage, a double-strand DNA break, CIRBP acts as the ultimate first responder. First off, it rushes directly to the break. Then it literally shields those broken DNA ends so they don't degrade and lose crucial genetic info. And finally, it acts like a magnet, pulling in all the other repair proteins needed to execute a flawless fix. So rather than throwing the cell away, it perfectly restores it.
Which brings us to this truly groundbreaking realization from biologist Professor Vera Gorbanova. She noted that while the whale system is, vastly superior, there is definitely room for improvement in humans. And here is the absolute game changer. When researchers took the whale's CIRB gene and put it right into human cells in the lab, our own human genomes became significantly more stable. That's right, this incredible evolutionary superpower is actually transferable. So, the obvious question on your mind is probably, how do we trigger these benefits naturally in our own bodies? Well, the bowhead whale swims in freezing Arctic waters, which naturally stimulates those cold-activated proteins. For us, the human translation of that exact environmental stressor is deliberate cold thermogenesis. It's a highly practical, totally accessible biohack.
Now, what's really interesting is the sheer breadth of what cold immersion therapy can accomplish. It's not just about, toughing it out in an ice bath. Exposing your body to the cold directly triggers cold shock proteins like CIRB. But you're also dramatically improving your glucose management, activating metabolically beneficial brown adipose tissue, slashing systemic inflammation, and promoting autophagy, which is essentially your body's natural way of taking out the cellular trash by clearing out dead cells.
The best part? You really don't need to live in an ice bath to get these results. The widely recognized Huberman protocol suggests that just 11 total minutes per week of deliberate cold exposure is enough. You just break it up into a few short sessions using water between 45 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit. That small amount of time is enough to trigger these massive, system-wide metabolic and cellular adaptations.
But, and this is crucial, DNA repair is really only one half of the longevity equation. As Dr. Anastasia Vela points out in her professional oversight of this protocol, we also have to look at the true engines of our cells, our mitochondria. These are our biological powerhouses. They generate the vital ATP energy keeping every single organ functioning. The catch? They are intensely susceptible to daily oxidative stress and damage.
So if we're fully adopting the whale's repair, don't replace philosophy, how do we protect and restore these vital mitochondrial batteries from all that daily damage? Cold exposure is amazing for DNA and inflammation, for sure, but to actually structurally rebuild the membranes of our mitochondria, we need highly targeted, bioavailable nutritional supplementation. And this is exactly where Villavi's T8 Extra comes into play. 90%. That number represents an absolutely elite 90% concentration of polyprenols. Villavi has engineered this natural concentrate specifically to restore healthy energy directly at the cellular level. The patented CIB-XP complex beautifully breaks down into 3 mutually reinforcing components. First, you've got those incredibly potent 90% polyphenols sourced right from Siberian taiga needles, which actively repair cell membranes. Second, Siberian fir sap, bringing in antioxidant maltol and bioavailable minerals like iron and magnesium. And third, CGNC conifer paste. That acts as a natural emulsifier loaded with powerful antibacterial properties.
The biological mechanism happening here perfectly mirrors the precise repair strategy we saw with the whale's DNA. When you ingest Villavi's T8 Extra, the polyprenols travel straight to the liver. Once there, they're converted into highly concentrated dolichols. These dolichols then literally go on a search and rescue mission, seamlessly patching up the damaged membranes of your mitochondria. And once that structural integrity is fixed, boom, uninterrupted cellular energy production is fully restored.
So, the crucial point we really need to take away is this. Repairing a microscopic mitochondrial membrane directly translates into macro-level, full-body vitality. By utilizing Villavi's T8 Extra 90%, you're stimulating super-efficient cellular energy. You're massively enhancing your immune defense, optimizing liver function, and actively protecting the blood vessels in your brain from oxidative stress. You are fundamentally expanding your overall health span.
Now, let's tie it all together into the ultimate biohacking strategy. Looking at this again under Dr. Anastasia Vala's professional oversight, the true synergy of these two approaches is just amazing. On one hand, you have deliberate cold thermogenesis triggering that CIRB protein to flawlessly fix your DNA. On the other hand, you have the Villavi CIB-XP complex providing the exact polyprenols required to patch and restore your damaged mitochondrial membranes. Put them together, and you have a comprehensive root-cause cellular repair protocol.
It all brings us right back to the awe-inspiring biology of the bowhead whale. You know, for centuries we viewed aging and cellular decline as this inevitable, unavoidable decay. But as the science is clearly showing us now, our biology is highly malleable. We don't have to just accept unstable DNA or failing cellular energy. We actually have the tools, both environmental and nutritional, to fix it.
Which leaves us with one final thought to ponder. The secrets of a 200-year lifespan are no longer hidden away at the bottom of a freezing Arctic Ocean. Between the accessible science of deliberate cold exposure and the advanced cellular support of Villavi's CIB-XP complex, the power to rewrite your health span is quite literally in your hands right now. So the real question is, will you wait 200 years for the future of medicine, or will you start optimizing your cellular repair today? Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer, and we'll see you next time.